sugar, spice, and everything nice.
Ever since superheroes became the best thing since sliced bread, the CW jumped on as many DC properties as possible to produce some of the best superpowered television shows that they could. And now that the Arrowverse is slowly but surely coming to an end, it looks like the network is staying on track and looking to Cartoon Network to get its superhero fix. But what do we really know about the live-action adaptation of the Powerpuff Girls, and what can we expect from everyone's favorite sisterly trio? Well, whether you're a fan of the CW or just want to know more about the nostalgia-driven property, you've come to the right place, as we're about to explore everything there is to know about the Powerpuff Girls. So strap yourselves in and get ready for some sugar, spice, and everything nice, as things are about to get interesting. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with the notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of the new videos that we post. Alright, the release date of Powerpuff. As it stands right now, Powerpuff as a franchise has only been greenlit for a pilot episode, which began filming at the beginning of this month. As such, not much is known about when the series will be releasing on the CW. In fact, this is likely how dependent on how well the pilot episode does with testers when completed. If the pilot episode tests well, the remainder of the season needs to be filmed and ushered through post-production, which is bound to be delayed a lot longer than we're used to due to the global health situation. It might be as if things are back to normal now, with vaccination programs being rolled out all across the globe, but a return to filming for many shows introduced a number of new regulations and safety precautions. The CW does have a pretty great track record when it comes to safety and adherence on set though, so let's imagine for a few seconds that the show doesn't experience any significant delays. If that is indeed the case, the pilot episode should most likely be completed by the beginning of next month, with post-production taking another month depending on just how heavy the show is going to be on virtual effects. The testing of the pilot episode will then likely take another month, with the filming of the rest of the franchise probably ending a full year later. And once again, this tiresome process will have to be followed by more post-production touch-ups, which include everything from editing to VFX developments. In other words, if all goes well, we can probably expect to see Powerpuff arrive on the CW by October of 2022. We also know that the networks and streaming platforms alike have been shying away from announcing release dates for their specific properties. This has been an effort to avoid disappointing their fans, who would much rather wait to hear when something is going to be released than for this date to be announced, then delayed. This means that we can probably only expect an official announcement when Powerpuff has finished filming and post-production for the show is well on its way. It's also likely that this will be done with the release of a trailer, which is sure to hype up the fans of the franchise. When it comes to the expectations for this release, think of somewhere in the vicinity of August of next year. The cast of Powerpuff. As we said earlier, only the pilot episode of Powerpuff has been greenlit right now, with a grand total of 7 roles being awarded to date. The very first role to be announced was that of Blossom, who will be brought to life by the charismatic Chloe Bennet. And this won't be the first time fans of the 29-year-old actress will be seeing her in the role of a superhero. In fact, you may recognize her from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where she played the part of Daisy Johnson, otherwise known as the superhero Quake. When cast as Blossom, Chloe took to Instagram almost immediately, sharing a short video of her with her hair dyed red. She captioned the video with the statement, "A female, Asian, redheaded superhero. Again, go ahead and normalize being anything you want, honey." In March of this year, Variety magazine actually released a few details about the characters themselves. When it came to Blossom, she was described as the follows. Though she was a spunky, conscientious, Little Miss Perfect child who holds several advanced degrees, Blossom has repressed kitty superhero trauma, which has left her feeling anxious and reclusive. And she aims to become a leader again, this time on her own terms. So it sounds like Chloe will not be playing the bossy leader of the Powerpuff Girls when the show first airs. We're thinking that it's going to take some doing for the 20-year-old superheroes to come together as a team once more, with Blossom being at the very center of it all. But more on that a little bit later. Next up the casting list is Dave Cameron, who has been brought on to portray Bubbles, who is definitely our favorite character when growing up. Most fans will know this 25-year-old actress from her time on the Disney Channel, where she starred in both Liv and Maddie, as well as the Descendants franchise. After breaking from Disney, she joined Chloe as a cast member on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where she portrayed the role of Ruby. Having spent quite a bit of time as a supervillain, it looks like Dove is ready to live on the good side of life, posting quite a bit of content on her official Instagram account regarding her role as Bubbles. According to the Variety piece, Bubbles in the context of Powerpuff has been described as the follows. Bubbles' sweet girl disposition won America's hearts as a child. She still sparkles as an adult, but her charming exterior bellies an unexpected toughness and wit. She's initially more interested in recapturing her fame than saving the world, but she might just surprise us and herself. The role of Buttercup will be portrayed by the 25-year-old Yana Perrault, who is actually a musical artist by trade and will be making her screen debut with Powerpuff. Those of you who are into musical theater will most likely recognize her from the Alanis Morissette musical, Jagged Little Pill, where she rocked the stage to critical acclaim. She was also cast in Hamilton before the global health situation decided to shut Broadway down for a little bit, resulting in her taking on the role of Buttercup instead. She too made this clear on her official Instagram page, writing that she was incredibly grateful to be given the opportunity to play the incredible character. According to the piece written by Variety magazine, Buttercup, as the character is described in the context of Powerpuff, is as follows. Buttercup was the rebellious badass of the Powerpuff Girls in its heyday. More sensitive than her tough exterior suggests, Buttercup has spent her adulthood trying to shed her Powerpuff Girl identity and live an anonymous life. So when it comes to fighting crime, we have a feeling that Buttercup is going to be one who needs the most convincing, with Bubbles seeing it as an opportunity to become famous once more. The role of Professor Utonium, who used his vast intellect to create the trio of superheroes, will then be brought to life by Donald Faison, who is an alumni of the Scrubs and Clueless franchises. According to the showrunners of the series, the character Professor Utonium will be very similar to what we know from the animated series. Expect him to be quirky, debonair, and a little bit narcissistic. And knowing the energy that Donald Faison usually brings to his roles, we should probably also expect him to be the funniest character on the screen at any given moment. The showrunners also let it slip that Professor Utonium no longer has a budding relationship with his daughters, with his overall arc looking to repair this relationship and get over his midlife crisis. The 24-year-old Nicholas Pondini was cast as the villain of the first season of the franchise, Mojo Jojo, who lovers of the cartoon will remember as being an intelligent monkey that was always in the process of being thwarted by the Powerpuff Girls. This is probably the one character we know the least about though, as the budget of the show will need to be quite high if the CW wants a virtual monkey as one of the leading villains. The description of Mojo Jojo by Variety also doesn't clarify the role that Podney will be playing, with the character being described as follows. As a kid, the nerdy, power-hungry, and insecure Jojo was obsessed with the Powerpuff Girls, despite his father's grudge against them. As an adult, Jojo finds his sweetness and rage in constant battle. So, we'll have to see what the pilot episode has in store for Mojo when it finally releases. Robin Lively, the older sister to Blake Lively, is cast to bring the character of Sarah Bellum to life, whom fans to the animated series will remember as being the mayor's right-hand woman. And last but not least, Tommy Kenny will be playing the role of the narrator, which is incredibly exciting considering how he played the same role in the 1996 animated series and 2016 reboot. For those of you who are still not impressed, he also voiced the character of SpongeBob SquarePants, so he's pretty much voice actor royalty. Take it from me, Tom Kenny's the man. The plot of Powerpuff. The CW released its first official look at Powerpuff earlier this month when its official account posted an image of Chloe, Dove, and Yana donning their characters' colors. This iteration of the animated series is looking to be a lot more contemporary to what fans of the franchise are used to, with both Buttercup and Blossom kitted out in jeans. The paparazzi were able to capture an image of the girls in their original superhero outfits, which look very similar to the original dresses that we are used to seeing. Although not much information has been released regarding the overall plot of the series, it's easy to guess what can be expected from its runtime. Since our heroes are now in their 20s, it sounds like they are over their superhero lives, which each one still trying to find their own place in the world at large. It also appears that they have drifted further from Professor Utonium, most likely because he had led them to fight crime before they had even reached puberty. But with the world in peril once more, they will have to come together one last time, finding that their place in the world was always as superheroes. But what do you think? Be sure to let us know in the comment section down below. There, we'll catch you. Thanks for watching.